Time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news here on KALH, weather always comes first. Widespread showers and storms, some severe, may produce heavy downpours and flash flooding across much of the eastern and central U.S. Dangerous heat's going to continue in the Pacific Northwest and expand across portions of the east. Deep tropical moisture and associated storms are going to bring heavy rainfall and localized flash floodings to portions of Florida into the central Gulf Coast. Closer to home, available monsoon moisture and daytime heating will lead to daily rounds of afternoon and evening showers and storms. Impacts from storms will include periods of heavy rainfall with localized flash flooding, mainly small hail, gusty outflow winds, and areas of blowing dust. Near normal high temperatures are going to happen every day. We'll have another look at the weather following this news.
This is range control roadblock information for Thursday, July 17th. Roadblocks are subject to change without notice. Highway 70, Highway 380, Owen Road, Nike Avenue, and War Highway are scheduled to remain open all day.
A Cloudcroft woman was arrested in Wichita County, Texas, in connection with the death of her husband. Deanna Ray Thetford was booked into the Wichita County Jail on July 8th on the charges of murder and tampering with evidence. She's being held without bond. Thetford allegedly killed her husband, Craig Thetford, and his body was later found by investigators wrapped in plastic, blankets, and rugs under piles of carpet and other items in the carport outside the couple's home on June 17th. Investigators learned that around May 12th, multiple family members called the Otero County Sheriff's Office to request a welfare check on Craig after they said they hadn't heard from him since January. A Sheriff's Office deputy went to the couple's home on Heather Way on May 15th, spoke with Deanna, who said she and her husband were going through a divorce and he went to Mexico with his new girlfriend to go fishing. Deanna also claimed her husband took $1 million to $1.5 million in cash from their safe with him. Officials later learned that Craig had not crossed the border since 2023. At a later point in time, Deanna allegedly told the investigating deputy that Craig broke his phone, got a new one, and went to take care of his mother in Texas. Craig's family member told investigators that he never traveled to take care of his mother. While speaking with Deanna, the deputy asked about cameras on their home, to which she claimed they had never worked. The deputy also asked her about a 4 to 5 foot hole in the front yard, which she said was for a raised garden bed. Deanna's daughter and Craig's stepdaughter later reportedly told investigators that her mother admitted to shooting Craig multiple times after the couple got into a fight in which Craig allegedly pushed her down some stairs. Deanna allegedly told her daughter that she left Craig for 1 to 2 days before wrapping up and tying up his body and using a tractor to pull the body out of the house and onto the carport. When investigators obtained a search warrant and found his body on June 17th at the couple's home, they also found that his clothes were removed from the house and the camera security system hardware had been removed. When a locksmith opened the safes, more than $84,000 in cash was found, along with multiple guns and ammunition. Investigators also learned that Deanna had purchased a property in Seymour, Texas, with a cash offer in February. At some point in time, officials said she'd given her truck to her son and bought a new Mustang. Investigators said they received at least 2 other tips from other sources claiming Deanna admitted to shooting Craig. The Office of the Medical Investigator ruled that Craig's death was a homicide and believed he may have been dead anywhere from a few weeks to a few months. Following Monday's devastating floods, the Mescalero Fish Hatchery reports they lost 80% of their fish. They say despite the setback, their dedicated staff has been working nonstop to salvage what little remains. The Village of Tularosa is having a workshop at 6:30 at Village Hall. If you want to view the meeting agenda, it's on villageoftularosa.com. The American Red Cross Disaster Financial Assistance is available for those who qualify. Call 800-RED-CROSS for information. The Mescalero Apache School Back to School Early Registration event is happening today from 9 a.m. till 4. Bring your CIB, birth certificates, immunization records, and court documents, Social Security card. This is happening at the Mescalero Community Gymnasium. Alamogordo District 5 annual citywide cleanup is happening this Saturday. That's at the Dudley School Community Center, 6th in Maryland, from 7 a.m. until noon. Dump your junk, and community shredding services are also available. Tularosa Presents Back to School, open for registration on July 22nd from 8 until noon. That's at the Tularosa Elementary School. If you have any questions, 575-585-8810. Well, today is Thursday. That means we get a Thursday thought from my good friend, Pastor Lauren Noble.
Good morning, Crazy Radio. This is Pastor Lauren with our Thursday thought. You know, society today is, well, somewhat crazy, in my opinion. I then can see all this on Facebook of people are wanting to see Epstein's supposed list, which I say supposed list because who knows if it's actually there. But I know my name isn't on the list, and I have enough skeletons in my own closet that I don't want brought to light. So I'm not going to be looking for other folks' skeletons and dig them out of the closet. I'm just not going to go closet diving. And while social media is nice to keep up with family, though I could do that on the telephone, it certainly has caused a lot of division in America, and I'm reasonably certain it has caused numerous relationship breakups. It is crazy how we have let social media control our lives and somewhat control our brain, because I look at some of the stuff more and more when I go to stuff on Facebook. I Google search to see if it's really true, because you can't always know just because that's what they said, and it's a lot of he said, she said, and they did. And most of us, myself included, need to spend less time on social media and get back to reality and what is important, and that's people and relationships that you can have in person, and leave some of Facebook behind, because it's just seeming to me it's not very profitable to the country or to our relationships with family and other people. Let me say a prayer for us. Lord, I do hope and pray that we will get better at avoiding social media, myself included, and getting back to the basics that we once knew, and stepping away from the division and the he said and she said, and I'm thinking we need in everybody's lives. And I really shouldn't be caring if you eat broccoli tonight. It doesn't involve me, and I really don't care if you do or if you don't. But we need to just step away from social media somewhat and focus on what is the reality of life. Amen. Until we meet up again, blessings to you.
News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
Hi, it's me, here to tell you about AlamogordoTownNews.org. This is Otero County's #1 source for local news, sports, and community. Quite frankly, AlamogordoTownNews.org is the big LES news service online. AlamogordoTownNews.org is a Second Life Media affiliated company.
The New Mexico Attorney General Raul Torres is trying to stop a federal freeze on some education funding that could halt more than 100 New Mexico after-school and other learning programs, expected to start just a few weeks from now. The Trump administration's funding freeze targets around $6 billion for a wide range of education programs. Roughly $45 million on the line in New Mexico, which stands to have a major effect on K-12 schools. Torres is joining 21 other attorneys general across the U.S. trying to get a judge to get that federal education funding flowing again. The $45 million in play for New Mexico pays for tutoring, English language learning, and other programs like the 21st Century Community Learning Centers. The AG emphasized that the federal funding freeze only stands to potentially worsen New Mexico's juvenile crime problem.
When those programs go away, what happens to those kids? What happens to the kids who no longer have high quality educational support in the summer? All of that impacts their ability to succeed in the education system and makes them far more likely to end up in the criminal justice system.
So far, the federal judge has not scheduled a hearing on the lawsuit, but the AG expects the courts could decide on a temporary injunction as early as next week. The feds are working to peel back a rule barring new roads from being paved through federal forests, and now many are wondering what it could mean for 2 million acres in New Mexico. For decades, the federal roadless rule has blocked new road building across New Mexico's untouched backcountry, but that may soon be a thing of the past.
After the repeal of this rule, we are going to go back to common sense forest management to ensure our forests are here for generations to come. U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins, who states that the choice will in part help with wildfire prevention, but conservation groups like the New Mexico Wilderness Alliance are skeptical of the Trump administration's choice. They fear what it could mean for some of the state's forest land.
New Mexico Wilderness Alliance Executive Director Mark Allison.
Places that New Mexicans know and love. These would all be at risk because of this rollback, which was intended to open up these places for industrial activity and development like commercial logging, mining, and oil and gas development.
Other concerns include the impact on outdoor recreation areas, habitat, and sacred tribal lands, as well as the potential of poaching endangered species like the Mexican gray wolf. But some New Mexico lawmakers are in favor of the rule change. Silver City Republican Senator Gabriel Ramos says it may protect communities from wildfires, floods, and property damage.
If you look at every forest fire out here in the Gila, they've used dozers and they've actually cut line. And if they already had a road there, it'd be a lot easier for them to go ahead and cut that line and try and stop the fire from growing.
New Mexico Wilderness Alliance says what's being floated as a solution to the wildfires could actually cause more, citing studies showing more fires are human-caused and 90% occur within a half-mile of a road. Near the Carson National Forest, Taos Democratic Senator Bobby Gonzalez says there needs to be a balanced approach.
I know that harvesting timber is important, but, it has to be done in a way that meets the needs of everyone. Now, just to come in with wide open developing roads, and that does a lot of harm to the land. And, to restore it back, it's not that easy.
The U.S. Forest Service still has to go through a long process before repealing the roadless rule. That's expected to include public comment. Nearly 1,000 New Mexicans have already accessed a new online portal which provides transparency about how much the cost of prescriptions and medical procedures vary from one location to another. Roz Brown has the story.
Introduced in 2024, the state service now has been updated to include costs in Spanish for the first time. Epidemiologist Irvin Garcia with the New Mexico Department of Health says in addition to prescriptions, the portal shows the average cost for doctor visits and medical procedures.
They can compare how much it would cost in one city versus the other, because when you search, you can put in your zip code and it tells you the closest around you.
Research suggests that healthcare quality is enhanced when people know what they'll pay ahead of time. It also shows that most people take at least one prescription drug, and lower prices help people maintain overall health and wellness. The portal is at New Mexico APCD. Garcia says the online service could be a lifesaver for folks prescribed medicines or procedures who don't feel comfortable revealing their financial or insurance status to medical professionals.
So this kind of helps ease the healthcare procedures that way so that they can kind of get a familiarity on how much it would cost.
Americans don't necessarily take more medications than people in other wealthy countries, but federal government data from 2022 shows U.S. prices across all drugs, including generics, were 3 times as high as prices in comparable countries. I'm Roz Brown reporting.
Every summer, it happens, again and again. A parent steps away for just a minute, but that minute can turn deadly. On a hot day, the temperature inside a parked car can soar by 20 degrees in just 10 minutes. Even with the windows cracked, the heat builds fast, becoming a deadly trap for a child. Children's bodies heat up 3 to 5 times faster than adults. Heat stroke can begin when a child's body reaches 104 degrees. At 107 degrees, it can be fatal. Last year alone, 24 children died in the U.S. from being left in hot cars, each one preventable. Never leave a child in a vehicle, not even for a minute. Look before you lock. This message is brought to you by the Alamogordo Fire Department and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Protect kids, prevent tragedy.
Your Crazy Radio spot-on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for sunny skies with a 40% chance of showers and storms. New rainfall amounts less than 1/10 of an inch expected. Mostly cloudy tonight with a 40% chance of showers and storms. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a 60% chance of showers and storms. Your high today in the Basin, 93. Low tonight of 71. High tomorrow, 91 degrees. In Cloudcroft, mostly sunny skies today with a 60% chance of showers and storms. New rainfall amounts between 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch expected. Mostly cloudy tonight with a 30% chance of showers and storms. Partly sunny tomorrow with an 80% chance of showers and storms. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 71. Low tonight of 52. High tomorrow, 69 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.org, and you can learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. Also check out the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel. That's where we post our daily newscasts. complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you've not done so already. That way you too can remain informed of the goings-on in the Tularosa Basin. And that concludes this Thursday edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.